Hastings says, great job standing up for Vic. Wondering if you'd chill my novel, The Crimson Spark, now available for pre-order on Amazon. A dark but uplifting fantasy adventure talks about the effects of actual abuse. William Hastings. There you go, guys. Go check that out. Bryce Byerly says, please make it stop. Nah. And then Tucker says, I'm late. What did I miss? Can we start the stream over? Well, I mean, we'll get the juicy parts again. Tamara Holloway says, first time super chat. Could they be using for those porn fakes of real animes? I don't know. I guess that's technically what they could be doing. All right. So back to here. Back to this document. We left off right here. Whether he is a public or limited purpose public figure, plaintiff must establish that any alleged defamatory statements were committed with actual malice. Actual malice in the defamation context does not mean injurious motive or ill will toward plaintiff, but rather means that the defendant had knowledge of the falsity of the statement or reckless disregard for the truth. The focus, therefore, is on the defendant's attitude toward the truth, not her attitude towards the plaintiff. Reckless disregard is a subjective standard focusing on the defendant's state of mind. To establish reckless disregard, the plaintiff must establish that the defendant, in fact, entertained serious doubts as to the truth of her publication or had a high degree of awareness of the probable falsity of the published information. That's Lane versus Ferris. One of the allegations of defamation concerns Funimation's investigation and undoubtedly appropriate termination of plaintiff, which he incorrectly contends is defamatory. I mean, that's not incorrect, but here you go. The Real Toye supplement pertains directly to the court's determination of actual malice as Funimation through its parent. Wait. Why didn't you file it with your timely filing then? You're going to argue now that it matters. Why didn't you file it with your timely filing? Why not? You had not only the normal amount of time, you had an extended amount of time to file your motion. And then you did, but you apparently decided that you wanted to file more later. Why didn't you file it initially? You made this public figure doctrine the entire time, public figure argument the entire time. Why would you wait? The Real/Toye sub, pertains directly to the court's determination of actual malice as Funimation conducted an investigation into plaintiff, severing its independent contractor relationship with him as a result. But that's not what they say. That's not what they say, right? Funimation detailed its investigation. The Funimation motion to dismiss. They actually didn't, though. In addition to Miss Real, Funimation interviewed two twin sisters who have provided sworn statements describing plaintiff's invitation to his hotel room at an anime convention, not as they thought to visit with a friend. Oh, did they? Oh, did they? Wouldn't it be a shame if there were like a bunch of things indicating that maybe they were considering Vic more than a friend? Wouldn't that be weird? Wouldn't it be weird if there was something like that? If there was something out there, I don't know, something out there where a reasonable person might think that there was a level of interaction that was going beyond mere friendship. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if there is. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow or today when documents get fired. But for his own deluded purpose of having sex with the 22-year-old siblings. Heaven forbid someone try to have sex with two women that are of legal age. We reminded Mignana that we're only 22 and he was over 50. Age discrimination, you ageist cunt sluts. So how could he even think of having sex with us, or what that we would want to have sex with him? I don't know. Why would he think that, Yosts? Why would he think that? Or do you guys just flirt to get free stuff? Is that why you do it? Vic's not the only one, is he, sweetie? He came up to my sister, cupped his hands on either side of her face, and forcibly kissed her. I froze in fear. Look what they're doing. They're trying to get in their inadmissible affidavits by putting them in this motion in line. Forcibly kissed me. I was so terrified and frozen, I did not know what to do. I asked what his intentions were in telling us about these feelings, and he said it was his hope and intention to have sexual relations with both of us. Now, mind you, he denies all of this. All of this. Without him giving any explicit permission, to do so, came up to me, cupped his hands on either side of my face, and forcibly kissed me on the lips. Forcibly is a weird word there. I wonder what disease-riddled lawyer wrote forcibly for them. This behavior is consistent with what plaintiff's ex-fiancée, Michelle Specht, accused him of in March. Nice, tabination there, buddy. In March 2019, he failed to deny. Oh, wait, no, this is a new paragraph. Okay, never mind. Sorry. My apologies. Which he failed to deny. Failed to deny? You systematically targeted dozens upon dozens of... He wasn't asked about this email in deposition, I don't believe. I don't believe. So they're going to use the out-of-court statements of Michelle Specht and his failure to deny them in a response email to an angry ex-fiance. Oh, sure, Lemoyne, that's going to... He failed to deny. He had no duty to deny it. He had no duty to deny it. Notice what they're doing. Again, putting inadmissible evidence. Michelle Specht's testimony is absolutely irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant to this case. What relevance does it have? Because character evidence is inadmissible to show that a prior act is evidence that someone committed a similar act at a later date, right? Like, hasn't law Twitter been kind of a buzz about that when you know, the prior criminal history of some of the affiants and maybe defendants were brought up? Was it affiants? Prior criminal history? Trying to think. Maybe it was Toye that they've been talking about. But we'll see. The sisters shared this humiliating experience with Sony, Ms. Rial, and Mr. Toye. Plaintiff may well attempt to deny the sisters were ever in his hotel room and risk perjury by doing so. But absent evidence the twins recanted to Funimation, Sony, Ms. Rial, and Mr. Toye, plaintiff cannot establish negligence, much less actual malice or reckless disregard for the truth in relation to defendants' allegedly defamatory comments about the investigation. Actually, here's a funny thing, Lemoyne. We have no idea what the twins said to Sony because they haven't produced the results of the investigation other than to say they found the accusations, quote unquote, credible. But they haven't said what the accusations were, have they? You're overplaying your hand. You don't have a hand here. You don't have a hand with the Yost twins. Although you might have 4 if you were a voice actor. You might have 4 hands. In addition, the Rial Toye supplement contains statements from convention officials unequivocally refuting plaintiffs' assertions that Ms. Rial or Mr. Toye's actions caused the termination of plaintiffs' alleged contracts. See Vanderlinden versus Kahn. Kahn did not offer affidavit. See, they're trying to use Vanderlinden versus Kahn to talk about tortious interference. It would be a shame if they could produce any of that. It'd be a shame. But here's the funny thing, though. I don't know that they get to produce any of this evidence. Because here's the weird part of all of this. If you read Vanderlinden versus Kahn, if this is a matter of public concern, truth is not an affirmative defense. It's upon the plaintiff to produce evidence of falsity, right? A prima facie case of falsity by clear and specific evidence. So the affidavits at the stage of the TCPA, from that constaff are actually not relevant for the purpose of TCPA and are likely inadmissible. They have to be, because those things, the only burden of proof that the defendants have at this point is to prove by a preponderance of the evidence that the TCPA applies, which is only to prove by a preponderance of the evidence that the defendants were exercising their right to free speech, which is a very narrow, although broadly used set of circumstances, which involves, as they have argued, commenting on a matter of public concern. That means all other evidence submitted outside of that must be submitted to prove by a preponderance of the evidence an affirmative defense. In Vander Linden versus Kahn, they specifically state that truth is not an affirmative defense when the plaintiff bears the burden of proving falsity. So you've got a conundrum here. You can't admit evidence to show something that you don't have to prove. You have no burden of proving. Not at all. Not at all do they have the ability to even enter that evidence. And I'm guessing that's going to be part of the filings. I don't know, of course. We'll find out later today. In addition, the Rialtoye supplement contains statements from convention officials unequivocally refuting... Oh, wait, I read that one. Kahn did not offer affidavit testimony from Sheldon, the one person who personally knew why he refused to go forward with the alleged contract. So once the impermissibly speculative evidence from Kahn's affidavits is disregarded, there's simply no evidence, let alone clear and specific evidence, that but for the message, any contract between Kahn and Sheldon would have gone forward. I guess we'll find out about that. I mean, you know, there's text messages between Toye and Kamea Khan, but who knows? Further, while it's apparent why plaintiff would choose to file motion to strike rather than exercise his statutory rights to depose the twins or other affiants, he offers no legal authority or analysis why he cannot defend against the affirmative defenses of consent, invitation, or application of the Communications Decency Act, neither of which depend on supplemental evidence. You haven't actually proved by preponderance of the evidence either of these things. The information contained in the Rialtoye supplement are necessary for a full understanding of plaintiff's allegations. Then why didn't you include them in your initial filing? Why did you supplement later? Full understanding of plaintiff's allegations, credibility, and the elements of his claims. Actually, you don't get to question the plaintiff's credibility at this point. And you actually don't get to question the elements of his claims. That's his burden. You don't get to disprove his burden. If the supplemental evidence and affirmative defenses are excluded and plaintiff's unsupported statutory interpretation is rejected on appeal, your statutory interpretation is unsupported. You have provided absolutely zero support for your statutory interpretation at this point. They actually did provide support for their statutory interpretation. It was a Texas Supreme Court case. Why you lying, fam? The result is an expensive and prejudicial remand to reconsider such evidence and affirmative defenses. See Adams versus Starside Custom Builders. TCPA does not bar supplementation of timely filed motions. Hold on, let me read this. Automata says, so twins are saying that Vic's reputation was such that they thought the age difference would mean he couldn't possibly be interested. Also, Monica said dozens of men and women in multiple investigations. Huh? Well, I mean, she lied. Monica lied. Serenia Zakari says, I wonder if Ron threatened the twins with homelessness. Das Pooch says, great show as always, man. Also just wanted to make sure everyone knows about Sean's He-Man gay parody. Lol, watch. Matt Field says, I thank you, sir, for your dedication to education, defense of due process, law, and general, and comedy. You really have bloomed into a beautiful little shock jock screeching butterfly. Fuck you, Lemois. Cons schluts. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Should we listen to Colleen and Monica? This one's about a minute and a half long. And should we do that? Remember Monica Rial being a defendant in this case, and you'll know her when your ears bleed when she talks. You'll know that it's her. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna mute my mic because again, there's a lot of highs in this one when they laugh uncontrollably. So here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Penis. What about hard-ons?
1 second, I'm gonna start it over. I realize I had a noise gate. I have a noise gate filter on, and I've got to remove that filter because some of it is really, really low. Let me just get rid of that. All right, we'll try that again. 1 second. Here we go. I'm gonna mute my mic. I'll give you a 3, 2, 1 visual when I'm gonna unmute my mic, just so you can turn the volume up, because I don't want to blow your ears out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penis. Alrighty. Penis eater. What about hard-ons?
Pole eater.
I
I meant chew gum.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Who's Boothy? God, Colleen, don't be so boothy.
Your vagina.
Oh,
Is that
that's
better?
mean. That's mean. I don't like you anymore.
Nah, just a whisper room. It's just a whisper room.
Yes. It's like the rape corner in Oz.
It doesn't have like a big window or anything. No, it's just a little echoey.
It's a little echo. Tiny bit.
It's really funny.
What now?
Less things like that, probably.
Okay, I'm gonna talk again. All right, so again, that one they're not in character, at least, thank God. But here they are in Funimation Studios saying penis, hard on. What about hard-ons? What about pole muncher or whatever? I mean, oh my God. What is this? What is this? Are they junior high boys? Like vagina. Like what are we doing here? What are we doing here? These are grown women, apparently. I know they sound like children. I get it. But these are grown women laughing at literally the phrase, what about hard-ons? It's not even funny. Like, tell a joke. That was less funny than Amy Schumer. And they even had a vagina in there. So, I mean, it's about on par with her comedy, but... Oh my God. Absolutely ridiculous. So, Funimation, Monica. What are you doing? That's inappropriate workplace behavior, and you know it. That's not a safe work environment. Did you get express consent from the audio engineer and everyone in that room to say vagina and hard-ons and pole muncher or whatever? Rape corner? Were you in your rape corner? Oh my God. How dare you? Very, very Silly, right? It's silly. Of course it's silly. Of course it's silly. But the hypocrisy is what? What is it? What? Hypocrisy? Over 9,000? That's impossible! Listen, Vegeta. You've gotta turn down your hypocrisy. Anyway. Insanity. And remember, Monica went to HR and complained that Vic ate a jelly bean and said, now I've eaten Monica Rial. Remember that. That is Monica's HR complaint about Vic Mignogna by all the testimony that we have, including Monica, including the investigator, and including Vic. The three people who know what Monica said to the, or who have any idea, I guess, what Monica said to the investigator, of all three of their testimony, the only thing we know about that investigation from Monica, okay? The only thing we know is that Tammy Denbo was investigating, when she called Vic, she was investigating a claim from Monica Rial that he ate a jelly bean and said, now at least I've eaten Monica Rial. Not eaten out, not licked her pink taco, not tongue strode her meat canyon or something like that. No, just that he ate, like Vor consumed Monica Rial. All right? That is the genesis of Monica Rial's complaint to Funimation, is a dad joke about a jelly bean. And here she is at Funimation Studios, on Funimation equipment, with other Funimation employees and contractors listening in actively, saying penis, hard-ons, rape corner, pole muncher, all of that stuff. It's all fake. It's all fake. They're lying, and they know they're lying. Why? Why are they lying about Vic? Why are they lying about their feigned defense? These are the real questions. But I think I know some of the answers. I have heard, again from a reliable source. Unfortunately, at this point, my sources have to remain anonymous because they work in an industry that ruins people's entire careers over a joke, right? If you're not the right person, what do? Why do you think my source can't reveal his name? I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that these people have knifed other people in their industry and are actively doing so when they don't fit in the clique. My source tells me that Vic was up for a director job. At Funimation, which would make him an employee, which would make him much more difficult to remove. A different source has told me that Sabat and Monica and maybe some other voice actors have tried to have Vic removed from Dragon Ball Super Broly unsuccessfully during casting. So, what happens? Let's paint the picture here. We want Vic Mignogna removed from Dragon Ball Super Broly because they don't want him to be a director. And by the way, we know Vic moved to Dallas. Now, Vic had been recording pretty much all of his stuff in his own studio in LA and sending it to Dallas, and they would mix it together. Recording on his own for a long time. moves to Dallas something like 10 days before this happens. Why? I don't actually know this. I would love to know if Vic was in talks about a director job that he was basically assured he was going to get. So he makes a move to Dallas because if he's a director, he's probably going to have to come into the studio more and more. As an employee of Funimation, he would actually have to go to the offices. I'm basing this on a lot of inference based on facts that I have been presented, based on a factual scenario that I've been presented, okay? I don't know this. I haven't gotten this from Vic, and I can't tell you the sources that I've accumulated this facts from. But bear with me. If Vic was going to get a director role, suddenly it makes sense for him to move from LA to the Fort Worth area, or Dallas-Fort Worth area, where Funimation is, right? Suddenly that makes sense because he could keep recording from his own studio in LA. No reason to change. All his friends are in LA or whatever, except for his friends at Funimation. He moves. He's going to get a director role, which means he's going to stick around for a long time. And these guys don't actually like him. In fact, just a month or two before, they had tried to get him removed from Broly. Unsuccessfully. Now, the opportunity presents itself before he's a director to knife him in the back. Uh-oh. Now we've got motive, right? Now I've got a reason to destroy a man. A reason that didn't exist before. And suddenly, 10-year-old things that didn't matter literally, a month or two before matter a whole lot. And a jelly bean joke matters a whole lot more than saying hard-ons and rape corner, penis, vagina, your vagina. Suddenly a jelly bean joke matters more than all of that. Suddenly a jelly bean joke matters more than Chris Sabat doing a 4 and 3/4 minute audio drama of anal rape and gay sex and incest and child sexual abuse. Like, suddenly a jelly bean joke matters more than that. The question has always been why. I present to you a possible theory that these people were jealous of Vic and he was about to be cemented into his role. Now, I've heard a possible reason why they didn't want him to voice Broly. I don't know if this is true. It doesn't matter if it is. It's not better if this is true. A possible reason they didn't want him to voice Broly, or at least an excuse that they tried to use, which I've heard they've used on other voice actors like Stephanie Nadolny. Who I hear, Stephanie Nadolny, who did she voice? She was, let's see. Stephanie Nadolny. Now, I've heard a couple reasons why Stephanie Nadolny was fired, but what was her, hold on, I'm pulling up her, Dragon Ball. Goku, young Goku, right? Stephanie Nadolny. Now, Stephanie Nadolny was forced to re-audition for her own role, which is a little weird, right? So here's what I've heard. Here's what I've heard. I've heard that there's a tendency among Funimation employees to say, oh, that person's too old to do the voice. Which I'm pretty sure, actually, I'm not familiar with Texas employment law in general, but I think age discrimination might be included. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think it might be, though. But they're saying, so what they may have used as an excuse to try and get Vic off of Broly was, well, he's getting up there in years, and Broly's a demanding role. We don't think his poor old vocal cords could take it. Right? And then that didn't work. So what happens next? Oh my God. Not only are they casting him still, and there's probably going to be some more Broly voice roles coming up. right? Because there's going to be another movie or there's going to be another series and Broly's going to be incorporated into it. Not only that, but he's going to be a director, which means he's going to have casting decisions. We got to get him out. What do we got? Hey, Funimation. Care to comment? Care to comment? Hey, Toei. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if your company was acting in violation of employment law, acting in violation likely of your license agreement, allowing their contracted voice actors to run roughshod over your IP, and most importantly, allowing a competitor that you don't license with to do it and to create this audio drama? I'm going to play it again. Y'all, I told you I was going to. Here you go. Prepare yourself for 5 minutes almost of Chris Sabat, starring, let's see. And coming to you now, our main attraction. Our main attraction, an audio drama involving homosexual rape, coercive anal sex, incest, and child molestation, featuring the voice of Vegeta, and Piccolo, and Guru, and Mr. Popo, and Kami, and Yamcha, Chris Sabat.
Popo, come closer. I feel my time is near, and I've never been with a man before. Apply the sacred ointment, Popo.
Oh, yes, Kami.
Yes, right there. Yeah, oh, that feels so good, Mr. Popo.
I do my best, but Mr. Popo does not fuck.
You must, Popo. It is for me.
Whoa! What's wrong?
Nothing, Yamcha. It's nothing. Mr. Popo and I have a special relationship. Oh, my Popo, he knows how to handle balls. He collected all the balls last time.
No way! Let me have some of that.
It's my ointment. I need it. I need it for Piccolo.
Kami, what's going on here?
I had to use the sacred ointment.
Apply the sacred ointment on me.
No way! I need some.
Bend over, Yamcha.
No! That can't be! Ah!
Yeah, more of that.
No!
Bend over further, Yamcha.
It can't!
Yeah.
Stop it! Bulma!
Yeah.
Bulma! Think of Bulma. I must think of Bulma. No. Release yourself, Yamcha. It is the right thing to do. Popo, tell him.
Yes, it is true. Kami does not lie. He likes big butts. He cannot lie.
Wow! No way! You're right! It feels pretty good. Why don't you try, Mr. Popo?
Okay. No. Oh. I need some more sacred ointment, Kami.
I'm afraid we've run out. The only ointment left is at Korin's tower.
Oh, guys, what the hell's happening here? Let me read your mind. Oh, Jesus Christ. You've been butt-fucking again, haven't you?
It's just the way. The way. You know that Nail is part of me now. Refused. He said he'd like me inside. And I said no, and then he entered me. And I'm much stronger now. And I'm willing to admit it.
Yes, I remember when you were inside me. It was a feeling like I'd never had, Piccolo.
But what about me, Kami?
There's always time for us, Popo. You're my indentured servant forever.
Am I ever going to get paid?
You're paid in flowers and in love, which you lack, Mr. Popo. Let me show you what love is about.
You're right, Kame. It feels so good.
Now, on. Guru, can you hear me?
Yes, my children.
Tell them what love is about.
Well, as I am the father of all Nammers, I believe that sharing is important. Remember Dende?
Oh yes, I remember Dende. Quite a cute little Namek, wasn't he?
Oh yes, I stumped him.
You what?
I stumped him. I had him many times.
No way!
Quiet, Yamcha. Your time is next. I have a special gift for you.
What is it, Guru? You can't die!
I won't die before I give you this gift. Now, bend over, Yamcha.
I don't know. Something's not right here. I feel so strange.
This is a power that comes only from inside and can only be given from the rear.
You're right. I feel so much stronger. I feel like I could kick some ass now.
Yes, but be careful. You may be sore for a while.
Dende, no! Dende, no! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh boy! Mark Nicholas says, "What the hell is that annoying laughter?" That was during the previous clip. I believe that was Monica Rial. Someone has asked me, they've tagged me, the chat's going a billion miles a minute. It's impossible to keep up. But someone has asked me, will I tag whatchamacallit, Toei Animation in this clips. I'm going to make the clips available for everybody right after the show. I'm going to upload them. I'm going to tweet out a link to it. I might just put them up on my Google Drive or something. But I think Anime Outsiders offered to host it, and I'll probably... In fact, Cody, if you're watching, I'm gonna upload them to my Google Drive. I'll give you a link to them if you can host them right away. I need someone to host these right away. Host them all over the place. Wherever. Spread it around. This is the news. Okay? Investigative journalism. Funimation is allowing Toei's IP that is licensed to them to be used for this purpose. Not only with Toei's IP, but I believe at least some proprietary sound from Toei Animation. They're allowing licensed material to be used in a way that I think is probably contrary to their license agreement. If I had to guess, I'm going to put all this out. If you guys want to tweet it, look, Toei hit number 5 on trending on Tuesday. I wonder how high Funimation can get. Let's see. Anyway, I need somebody. Cody says the person who updates their site is in bed.